Alright guys, last but not least, Division B East. The LuBu versus the Minion Miners. And this will wrap up our NGS coverage on this wonderful Sunday evening. Game 1 looks like it will be on Infernal Shrines. As this is a replay cast, let's jump right into the game here. So the blue team will be LuBu, Streakwing on Tyrande, Bandit on Kael'thas, VDZ on Cassia, Makrota on Johanna, and Alan Hicks on Sonya. Not a hero we've seen in a little while, but I don't know, the last couple weeks I've seen him making a comeback a little bit. Or the red team, the Minion Miners, another team actually that I remember playing way back in Chair League. Cawthon on Arthas, Himibo on Raynor, Marshall on Leeming, New Flash on Stukov, and in the top lane, squaring off against Sonya on the proper Leoric skin, Kobo. And when I said Infernal Shrines, I of course meant Battlefield of Eternity. So I think in the burn category, LuBu might have the advantage here as Cassia, first blood, 38 seconds into the game. The silence from New Flash was absolutely brutal there. And actually on Raynor, what I was trying to check there momentarily was on Raynor, he didn't go with Ace in the Hole, instead opting for the Exterminator. That will give Minion Miners a much better burn, but I still think with the Tyrande and the Sonya, the Cassia, and the Hunter's Mark, Kael'thas, the burn advantage here will probably go over to LuBu. Alright. So, while these teams brawl in the bottom lane, Alan Hicks, you got it, man. It's all about that Janitor Leoric skin. If you're not picking Janitor Leoric, you're not Leoricing right. Makrota taking a lot of damage. LuBu is really getting a little bit bullied here. The New Flash with the Lurking Arms has been on point, and Marshall has just been wailing on the members of LuBu with orb after orb, magic missile after magic missile. Sonya and Leoric going pretty even in the top lane, not a whole lot to see here. Now we're about that 2-minute mark though. That's when teams typically are going to rotate to their mercenaries, and they do. In about 30 seconds or so, we're going to see the first objective of the game pop. And that's when this game is really going to start kicking. So both sides picking up the mercenaries. Both sides look to... No, actually, LuBu is going to move down here and try to double up on their mercenaries. Really put the pressure on Minion Miners during the first objective. Lunar Flare onto Arthas, trying to keep him away. Probably New Flash would have liked that Lurking Arm to be a little bit deeper. I don't think Arthas can stand in here this early, and he cannot. LuBu picking up the Retribution kill, now 1-for-1, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on this bottom lane. In the meantime, in the top, Sonya and Leoric continue to brawl, but Leoric, if he hits his Drain Hopes on Sonya, will slowly get the better of that. This is going to be, I think, probably halftime over to the Minion Miners, and with the... I'm sorry, over to LuBu, and with the positioning of the First Immortal after halftime, always on the aggressive side, I think this is going to be LuBu probably securing first objective unless Minion Miners decide to step in, and they do not. Leoric is still not here, so first objective very likely to go over to LuBu. Although, you know, that burn for the side of Minion Miners is real. It's actually going to be very close But LuBu does secure it. I really underestimated the burn from Minion Miners. There was only a difference of 322 health. And that was without Leoric there, and Minion Miners was actually behind the 8 ball because they had lost halftime. So Minion Miners' Immortal Burn, much, much better than what I thought it would be.
To me, mortals, I march for Hell's gates. I shall march for Hell's gates.
The defense stout here so far, however, Cawthon taking just a ton of damage. Forced to withdraw. Arthas can be blown up early before he gets the armor at 7, and of course Army of the Dead at 10, especially with Hunter's Mark coming out from LuBu. Hey, B-Train, thanks for the host, guys. You're here just in time to catch the last game of a replay cast triple header. It's game 1 between LuBu and the Minion Miners. Well, hey, no spoilers, Himibo. I don't know what happens, so let's not give anything away. So pretty even game thus far. Teams splitting out. Kills and the objective. Structure damage about even. And let's go check in on the completely even and not at all dull brawl, because these guys just trade into each other and nobody's dying. And soaking safely, although that's a big miss. If you're on Leoric, you gotta hit your W's there. Alan Hicks, recognizing the Drain Hope miss, got a little more aggressive on the Sonya there, who did just get a little bit of a buff this week, so I'm curious if that means we're going to see more and more Sonya. Alan Hicks getting aggressive one more time with the Drain Hope missing. In the top lane, Minion Miners. They've really been the more aggressive, more bullying team in the 4-man here in the first few minutes of this game. And Jason back in chat, having switched to his own account. So second Immortal phase, neither side will have Mercs except for Leoric actually securing the bottom, maybe? Let's see how this goes. Sonya is not looking to give this up, and Cassia has arrived to reinforce. Leoric might be in trouble. Kobo just needs to leave, give up the camp, and he does. In the meantime, in the objectives, it's actually Minion Miners that wins halftime with 2 members of LuBu rotating to the camps. And now the fight over the blue Immortal. LuBu has arrived to defend. Leoric is in the bottom lane. You want to be really careful when you're going to fight in your opponent's Immortal, but that great lurking arm. If Li Ming can get a reset here, but she cannot. Leoric goes down. Arthas going to follow. No, Arthas walks away with 150, 60 hit points or so. LuBu taking the team fight, and now they're going to send just a couple up to burn, while Bandit's going to eat a ton of damage from Raynor. Johanna forced to step in, and now LuBu actually being forced back as a huge invade coming out here from Minion Miners, and it's going to be Minion Miners that secure the objective. Waiting for one more poke from Li Ming should do it. No, not quite yet. There it is. So Minion Miners secure the second objective. Janitor Leoric sloshes his way to safety, and both sides pretty bruised up, but especially the side of LuBu. Heroic ability is very close for both teams. It is going to be LuBu that picks up theirs just a little bit sooner than their opponents. Wrath of the Berserker, Phoenix, Valkyrie, Blessed Shield, and Shadowfall coming out for LuBu. For the side of the Minion Miners, we have Entomb, Raynors, Disintegrate, Army of the Dead, and Stukov still hasn't shown his yet, but let's see which way he goes. So still a 4-on-4, Leoric and Sonya to continue to duel in the bottom lane. Phoenix goes out on top of the objective. Cawthon popping Army of the Dead, stepping forward onto Tyrande, lands a big root. However, Cawthon forced to withdraw under heavy damage, and it is actually going to be massive shove for Stukov. He finally showed there. Minion Miners take the top fort. simply withdraw. Sonya still so safely soaking in the bottom. Alan Hicks smells the rotation coming, wisely backs away.
Yet we have not seen the end of him.
Danger pings coming out. Sonya does not want to step into this. It's a trap, Sonya. Don't do it. So LuBu showing force, despite the fact that two of their members were on the camp until just momentarily, and the positioning on that lurking arm really broke up what LuBu was trying to do there. Once again, Leoric and Sonya resume their date in the off lane. Valkyrie goes out, catches Raynor, a lunar flare on the spot. Raynor is executed. Minion miners forced to withdraw. The lunar flare was absolutely on the money from Streakwing, and Raynor had no shot. And Arthas in trouble again too. Once again, a good lurking arm from New Flash, kind of breaking up the momentum of LuBu, allowing Coffin to escape there. Sonya, Leoric continue their endless duel in the off lane. The battle for soak and lane pressure continues. Will the teams throw down over the bottom siege camp? It looks like both squads have kind of decided it's probably not worth it. Leoric has rotated to his upper bruiser camp and then decided better of it. These teams just decide the immortals are more important, and they immediately rotate to the objective, and they're going to trade burn. So let's see, who is going to race faster? I think Minion Miners have proven so far to have the faster race here in the early going. It's going to be close, but it's actually LuBu that secures halftime with the Sonya, Cassia, and the Hunter's Mark. Here goes Valkyrie, catches Arthas, who is blocked by the terrain. So the rock saving Arthas with the positioning of this. Minion Miners decide better to simply burn what we can, and it's going to be close again, but LuBu likely to secure the Immortal with this very small shield. Good patience here by Minion Miners this game. Once the positioning wasn't in their favor, they just made a quick call, burn as much of the shield as you can, and we'll live to fight another day, especially with level 13 advantage on the board for LuBu. So this is basically a 4v4, as I'm trying to give our boys in the bottom lane some love, but this has been a 4v4 game for basically the whole way, while Leoric and Sonya brawl in the bot. I don't know if LuBu is going to be able to get this fort. I would be surprised if they did, actually. The shield was so low. Minions are so low, and now the counter engage possibly by Minion Miners. Valkyrie from Cassia misses. Arthas is looking for something, but they just can't find what they want. Minion Miners, they get to the halfway point of the map, and they end their pursuit. In the bottom, though, Sonya is starting to finally get the better of Leoric and bully him out just a little bit. So very, very tight game. A huge root and orb combo. Great execution by Minion Miners. Li Ming gets the reset. LuBu in full retreat. A great empowered gravity lapse coming out from Bandit. May have saved Johanna there, catching multiple members of Minion Miners in the stun. The backliner peeling for the tank there. Bottom lane, these two still going at it, and Alan Hicks finally gets the best of Leoric, and now Minion Miners, they're losing the bot and winning the top, putting pressure on Keep. Lunar Flare lands onto Arthas, massive shove, keeping Tyrande away, and Coffin running from his team, not wanting to spread the living bomb. Minion Miners going to take what they've won and withdraw. Sonya, in the meantime, though, she is going to take down this bottom fort for LuBu. So neither team will have level 16 advantage, but LuBu is getting pretty close. And defensive positioning for both sides. This might favor Minion Miners just a little bit, as the Li Ming poke is a little bit better than what LuBu has to offer. However, Valkyrie catches Li Ming, and once again, a huge Valkyrie and a Lunar Flare on the mark. Li Ming goes down. And Entomb hits that. However, Sonya is just spinning all over Minion Miners, going ham on the backside, pushing back everybody. Lunar Flare catches Raynor. Minion Miners will retreat down a member and start to clear up the bottom lane. Now, if you're the side of LuBu, they're going to have to send somebody top to take care of this. I imagine they'll probably do it at halftime. Maybe Kael'thas or possibly the whole team. Just clear it quickly and come back. But it is going to be Kael'thas. Li Ming will be spawning momentarily. However, level 16's on board for the side of LuBu. Without Kael'thas here, they are still taking this fight. Huge lurking arm. Leoric getting onto the flank, driving back Cassia and Tyrande. Arthas driving back Sonya. Massive shove sends Cassia out of the battle. Alan Hicks could be in trouble. There's the Disintegrate and the Orb combo. Valkyrie splits them, unable to isolate somebody out. However, the reset's able to catch the Johanna. Arthas so low and gets the counter kill on the Arthas. Does LuBu. 2 for 1 in favor of the Minion Miners. LuBu forced to come and take care of this. They weren't able to fully clear it out before committing to that, so this fort is very low. Minion Miners in the meantime letting Raynor chunk away at the Immortal. I think LuBu is going to be here in time to contest this, maybe? 10 seconds left. No, they're just going to try to race. They're up so much with the Hunter's Mark and Tyrande and Kael'thas. They might get this. It's going to be really close one more time. Whoever gets this is not going to have much in the way of shields, and it is going to be LuBu securing the Immortal once again, and once again with very little shields. A very tight game here. So top lane fort is not going to be here very much longer. The Immortal will polish it off pretty quick. All 5 members of LuBu. Sonya, remembering what her teammates look. Leoric is actually in the bottom lane, so this is a 5-on-4 in favor of LuBu. Only 4 members of Minion Miners present. Valkyrie is available, and there it goes. Does not connect, so that's a big heroic down. Gravity Lapse does catch Li Ming. She is able to teleport to safety. Massive shove. Shoves Johanna all the way out of the fight, but Raynor goes down to a Cassia. Leoric is sitting on the flank here, looking for a big Entomb, and there he is, arriving to put as much pressure onto LuBu as he can. Arthas, though, taking a ton of damage. Army of the Dead able to keep him alive. This is going all the way. Neither team able to finish out any of the other ones. LuBu absolutely wants this keep. They're able to finish it off before retreating to safety. Getting the Jimmy kill was huge. I think if Raynor was present in that fight, maybe Minion Miners is able to defend. But he was not, and they were not. And first keep going over to the side of LuBu. With as close as these two teams are, I don't know how the set goes. I wouldn't. This has to be a 3-game set. We'll see. Because these two teams are very, very close.
Prepare yourselves. I will reach your position shortly.
LuBu taking their mercenaries in the bottom lane, and once again, LuBu is actually going to have double mercs pushing in the bottom lane. Minion Miners will have one, however, LuBu really cannot let those top mercs go for very long. Their keep is very low. And let's see what these two teams decide to do. Neither team has level 20. It is a bush party here for Minion Miners. However, LuBu, they don't care about that. They want to push in with Katas and 2 mercs. Johanna's flashlighting the bush, trying to find out where Minion Miners is, and they have found them. LuBu is backing up, retreating in a hurry with an aggressive rotation, defensive rotation coming out by the Minion Miners. They will clear out the double mercs pretty quickly. And aggressive positioning for the Immortals. I don't think LuBu is going to be able to get too much damage here before they're going to be forced back. Johanna caught out. Iron Skin forced to be popped early. She might be in trouble, and she is. A big-time lurking arm. Johanna barely getting away. Valkyrie catches one, and it's actually Raynor that's the first to fall. Johanna shortly followed Arthas after that. 2 for 1 in favor of LuBu. However, once again, this top lane, they're not paying enough attention to it, and that keep is going to go down. The Kael'thas is way too late. LuBu burning the Immortal one more time. Will they get the kill on Alan Hicks? No. So currently 4-3, numbers on the battlefield favoring LuBu. They also have level 20 advantage. Minion Miners being very aggressive despite their lack of people. However, they are fighting under the Immortal, and Li Ming able to catch that Cassia out after the lurking arm pushed it into the wall and then gets the disintegrate onto the Sonya to finish him off. That was all the mana Li Ming had. Proceeding immediately onto the Immortal. I don't think Kael'thas and Tyrande are able to steal the Immortal again for LuBu. And this time Leoric is going to go babysit that. He is going to make sure they don't try to do it again. Owl to check. So Tyrande and Kael'thas are going to try to do it again. However, Leoric is waiting there for them this time. Catches 2 of them. Doing everything he can to keep them off of the Immortal. And I think he has bought enough time. Now Arthas is there as well. So LuBu's Immortal is going down, and it is Minion Miners that are able to secure a big-time Immortal. Now it is going to be going down the bottom lane, where pretty much all of the defensive structures for LuBu are surprisingly still standing. So although it will be a pretty strong minute 21 Immortal, it has a lot of structures to go through, and Kael'thas is a very good anti-siege hero. So I don't think Minion Miners will get a keep out of this unless they get kills. They need kills, indestructible pops, but they get the Li Ming, a huge Valkyrie, but a 3-4 man buried alive, but there's no damage. They're not able to finish anybody. Leoric goes down. Johanna goes down. Stukov is running for his life, and the Flame Strike gets the Raynor. So almost assuredly no keep now going down for LuBu. A great counter engage. They fought past the Immortal despite a 4-man buried alive. The damage just wasn't there for the side of LuBu. I'm sorry, for the side of Minion Miners to follow up on the buried alive. Great ghost anchoring by Leoric, an underrated aspect of a Leoric player, giving that vision, letting your teammates know where the bad guys are. So this game will continue. Level 21 to level 21. Both teams have lost their top keeps. 12 kills to 8. This is a fantastic game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hazard a guess, and I'm going to say this next Immortal phase, this is going to be it. The winner of this next fight over the Immortal is going to win this game. I know I'm really going out on a limb there, but that is going to be my professional prediction for the outcome of this game. Minion Miners trying to invade Arthas is just a hair late, and he might have stepped too far. The Valkyrie isolates him. However, the Entomb catches 2. Li Ming is able to get the reset. Is it going to be enough? So far, only one kill secured. Kael'thas able to stay alive with the shield proc. Arthas standing strong with Army of the Dead. Alan Hicks staying strong as well, spinning to win to stay alive. Li Ming not able to secure a second reset, but is one enough? Cassia going down. LuBu is forced to clear out the top lane. Halftime gonna go over to Minion Miners, and I don't think Cassia will be alive in time to contest the Immortal after halftime. We are already there. She's down for another 30 seconds.
Time for change in strategy.
So decision time for LuBu. Do you fight 5v4 or do you concede the objective and hope you can keep the game going alive? And they have decided they're going to fight 5v4 under the Immortal. They really need to step up, though, to keep the kind of random damage from getting on it. Johanna silenced and eating all the Li Ming damage. The Lunar Flare to keep Li Ming at bay. Johanna, though, is in trouble. Kael'thas in more trouble. Buried alive, is able to eat the shield proc, doing some damage on his way out, but he is going to go down. Down he goes. Valkyrie doesn't catch anybody. Leoric able to polish off the Johanna. Lurking arm to keep Leoric alive, and this is going to be the beginning of the end, I believe, here for LuBu, as Minion Miners look to be on the verge of taking this game one. Now, we've all seen weirder things happen. They are losing this bottom keep. If I think I just kind of let this go. I'm trying to win the game with this. But Minion Miners send Raynor back. He pops a couple of catapults, and now he is on his way. Leoric's Entomb will be up in 5 seconds, so they will be able to hopefully, if you're a Minion Miners fan, catch somebody out, secure one more kill, and that should be enough for game. And if I am LuBu, I am not stepping up here. I'm doing as much poke damage as you can. The keep is gonna go down. Here comes Leoric. He's looking for a big buried alive. Lurking arm catches two. They get away. Cassia taking a lot of tickle damage, and there's the buried alive onto the Cassia, sniped by Li Ming. Sonya goes down too, and that just went from a probable game one victory for Minion Miners to almost for certain. A fantastic game one. LuBu not going down quietly, though. They actually get Raynor in the defense. Still, though, this Immortal is full health, and that is going to do it. Minion Miners securing game one. So let's take a look at the talents there. And the stats. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and go to game two of the set between LuBu and the Minion Miners. That was one hell of a game one. Very interested to see how this set plays out. So game two, we're going to go to Volskaya Foundry. Once again, LuBu on the left-hand side. Losers of a very close game one. It is going to be Alan Hicks on Dahaka, Akrota on Garrosh, Cassia, played by VDZ, and Bandit, playing Jaina. Who did I forget? Oh, Streakwing on Rhaegar. And for the Minion Miners, on the right-hand side in the red trunks, Kobo on Imperius, New Flash on Deckard Cain, Marshall back on Li Ming, and after that performance, totally understandable, Thothan on Johanna, and Himibo returning to his Raynor. I really like a Garrosh with a Jaina. I mean, we get that sweet toss, and it's very tough to get away from it. Not only is Garrosh good with Jaina, but denying the counter pick to the Jaina is excellent as well. That minion just ate the toss and a huge impale. Alan Hicks is in trouble. A counter tongue on the Imperius. It does not matter. Dahaka is the first to fall. Minion miners really stepping up strong in the early going, securing first blood 42 seconds into the game. Johanna, such a good rotational tank here. And without kind of an AoE wave clear mage, I really like that selection for the rotation purposes for minion miners. Let's talk about Volskaya Foundry while these teams feel each other out a little bit. Volskaya Foundry is all about collecting the toys. The more toys you get in the turrets and the biotic emitter, minion miners recognizing this already have sent 2 heroes to go pick up the bottom turret, the more likely you are to win the objectives and ultimately win the game. And unlike a lot of these battlegrounds, the first objective is actually pretty powerful. You can really get a lot of value out of the first Triglav Protector, so don't want to wait too late game here on Volskaya Foundry. And is Minion Miners going to invade here? Li Ming is top. They are looking. Oh, I would have liked Macrotaw. I think if he would have waited half a second, he probably could have gotten a throw on the Jimmy. But he did scare them away and allowed his team to pick up their own turret. And let's see if a fight breaks out over this biotic emitter. Not quite yet. Teams wanting to pick up on the soak. A harder rotation coming out by Minion Miners here, and no Garrosh, as he's still in the mid lane. Let's go take a look at our solo laners. Alan Hicks and Kobo are going to be BFFs by the time this game is done. These guys have just been brawling for so long now. And in that game 1, they stayed brawling against each other longer than most solo lane matchups go. Imperius will win this. Over time, Imperius can just out-trade the Dahaka. But here we go. Objective number 1. Neither side has taken the biotic emitter quite yet. However, LuBu is here. Minion Miners are not, and it looks like they will secure not only their merc camps, but the biotic emitter, except for Johanna. Just kind of acted like his team were there and bullied them off. No team will secure the biotic emitter. Both mercenaries will push each other in the top. And here we go. Objective number 1. Solo laners continuing to brawl in the bottom. You can see Imperius is winning that. So when he wants to, Imperius, get on this conveyor belt and arrive, it's going to be a big-time flank, but the Blizzard catches 2 or 3 there. Now here comes Imperius on the flank. Jaina in trouble. Big-time impale. Catches 2. Cassia running for her life. She goes down. Turret dropped. Helping to zone out Minion Miners. Jaina down as well. I called out for that flank. Big-time play by Kobo, catching both of the backliners with a flanking impale. You have to watch those conveyor belts from bottom to mid here, because it really increases the speed of the rotation, and you do not want an Imperius coming in on your backline unopposed like that. However, death timers still short. The objective is long. So LuBu is going to have one more crack at this if they want. Alright, here we go. 5-on-5 one more time. Kobo just sitting on his bike, just waiting for that moment. The turret advantage for Minion Miners. Their turret does go out. Impale lands on the Cassia. Overtime here. Johanna in trouble. Asked to pop the Iron Skin. Barely getting away. Picking up all the Gatorades on her way out. Now Alan Hicks is in trouble. And down he goes. Minion Miners getting the win again. Turret just really driving back Johanna. Cassia falling. And this game in the early going is all Minion Miners. 5 unanswered kills. A full level lead advantage. And the first Rock'em Sock'em robot of the game over to the Minion Miners. Now, typically, the kind of traditional by-the-book way to handle this first Rock'em Sock'em robot is exactly what the minion miners are doing. You go to mid lane, take out the 2 towers and the wall, and then you immediately rotate to top, and that, of course, with the goal to take out that top fountain. The second objective is always top, so you're trying to prep for the second objective by taking out that fountain if you can. Other thing worth noting is Imperius is soaking bottom, and there is, for a little while there was no counter soak from the side of LuBu, and they've got a very strong lead. They do take out the front wall and the fountain, so that's pretty close to max value for this initial objective. It is going to go down any moment now, and there it goes finally. Garrosh, 44 health, escapes. Dahaka on the offlane soaking. And I love minion miners, what they're doing. They know level 10s are right here, and they are sticking around to try to force this siege damage. No. So there are heroic abilities. Blessed Shield, Disintegrate Beam, I don't know Imperius's logos, Angelic Armament for Imperius, Rainer's Raiders for Jimmy, and Lornado for Deckard Cain. Very heady invasion here if you're minion miners. LuBu really cannot do anything about this. They just got to stay safe, stay passive, soak until 10. And I mentioned it's the toys. It's all about the toys. Actually, what I'd like to see minion miners do here is go up and grab the biotic emitter since it's in the neutral area, and then rotate back down for this turret. But it's really not going to matter. They're far enough ahead to where the biotic emitter should be free as well. So 2 turrets and a biotic emitter, if this goes as planned for minion miners, plus no front wall and no fountain, they are really going to be in the driver's seat for game 2 here. So level 10's on board for LuBu. Cassia caught, condemned out, damage going out. Well, they do use the heroics. There's the Blessed Shield, the Herodric Cube. Cassia is in trouble. Down she goes. You have to pop the Iron Skin. Make sure you get away here, and you do. Cassia overextending just enough to where Minion Miners was able to catch her on the way out. So Ancestral Heal for Rhaegar, Warlord's Challenge for Garrosh, Ring of Frost for Jaina, Isolation for Dahaka. Cassia is being a little cheeky, and she does end up going Valkyrie one more time. Normally I like Ball Lightning, but last game the Valkyrie had the Cassia player had a couple of big-time Valkyries, so I can see why they'd want to stick with that. They had a couple of huge kills. Granted, no Lunar Flare follow-up this game, so that'll make them a little more difficult. Johanna is not the target. Deckard Cain is. A Valkyrie into a Blizzard. Down goes Deckard Cain. Ancestral used to keep Garrosh up, and that's a huge pick for the side of LuBu. Dahaka counter-killed. However, they are forcing... Oh, Jaina goes down. Cassie dropped the biotic emitter. No! So Marshall just flexing on that Li Ming. Impale catches Rhaegar. Oh my goodness. That looked so good. So good to start for LuBu. And boy, that went sideways in a hurry. Yeah, Marshall, after just getting cooldown reset after cooldown reset, you're out of mana, my friend. Go back to the Hall of Storms and top off. So Johanna going to stay on the objective with Imperius. They're going to have a picnic and a sandwich while their teammates go grab the mercenary camp here. Deckard Cain hitting them with his walking stick. So Biotic Emitter, talent tier advantage for the side of the Minion Miners. Plus, they are already building the percentage on the second Punisher. In the meantime, LuBu, this shows a lot of patience. It's very tough to just let the other team pile up objectives. They recognize they need every advantage they can get, and they go ahead and take both turrets in the bottom lane. So what's the call now? They've already lost this objective. They're going to get as much value as they can and prep for the third objective. Very heady call here. If they can get this fountain, they might be able to parlay that into an advantage. No, they sense the rotation coming. Everybody is hearthing back, but they did get some free XP and some structure damage, as well as 2 turrets in the top lane. And now they will rotate away to defend against the Triglav. Looks like the Minion Miners, they're going to go ahead and take mid fort here. Absolutely max pressure on the map with these third wave catapults spawning in the top and the mid now. Volskaya is a big map, so over time that will have an effect. And now they're going to head on the bot lane. They're going to prep for the third objective, take out the wall and the fountain again. I would imagine very aggressive positioning by the Imperius, making sure no flank comes in. Without level 13s and with the Triglav here, these Triglav protectors do so much damage in teamfights, you really can't underestimate what they can do. Cassia taking all that damage from the Triglav. Ancestral goes down to prevent the kill. However, Minion Miners going in hard. The Triglav Protector doing work. A huge Ring of Frost. Impale catches nobody, but it's Garrosh that goes down. Cassia going to go down soon. Maybe? Yes. 2 unanswered kills. 12-1 in favor of Minion Miners on the absolute warpath. As close as Game 1 was, Game 2 has had all Minion Miners all game long. While some of these fights have been close, it's just LuBu unable to finish this off. If they somehow manage to force a Game 3, I think you have to ban out the Li Ming, and that is why. Lornado isolates out Jaina. Bandit is in trouble, and down she goes. The rampage continues for LuBu. 14 kills to 1. Garrosh now in trouble. Herodric Cube holding in there. Not quite able to finish the kill, but they do get the Cassia, and now they are laying siege to this bottom keep. LuBu is in trouble. And I don't think LuBu has any choice but to fight this next objective, probably down turrets, down the emitter, and down a talent tier. If you're LuBu, you have to be maximizing soak as much as humanly possible and pray that you get 16 before this next objective, because that's going to be their last crack at same talent tier. There's a lot of missed soak going on in the bottom lane. Dahaka really needs to be down there to pick all of that up. They need 16 for the objective spawn. Instead, it's going to be Cassia. I think if you're LuBu, you try to get 16, and maybe you catch somebody with the Valkyrie or the Garrosh toss, take advantage of maybe a mistaken positioning from Minion Miners. But they're in a rough spot here, really rough spot. Ooh, very close. Raynor almost got caught there, but they're able to escape the aggressive rotation from the side of LuBu. I like that call, seeing if they could get a cheeky pick there. And they were very close to catching Raynor, but not quite. And now they're going to have to fight down a talent tier. Here it goes. And it's actually Minion Miners that are getting the worst of this. Isolation goes out on Imperius. Turrets go down, and he takes the merry-go-round back into, hits a huge impale, and Jaina the first to fall. There's the resets on the Li Ming. Only one going down so far. She's trying so hard to get Garrosh, who's alive with 30 hit points, but Cassia and Rhaegar are going to go down on the other side. Now Garrosh goes down 19 kills to 1. Minion Miners looking so strong in Game 2. So they're slowly building up the Triglav percentage. Johanna staying there. The rest of the members of the Minion Miners laying siege to the mid keep now. And this game just kind of feels like it's a matter of time. LuBu just cannot seem to get their feet underneath them. And just haven't been able to stem the tide of how this game 2 is going.
Blue team has taken control of a protector.
So here they go. If you're Minion Miners here, you're looking to end. However, the Valkyrie does catch Imperius. They're not quite able to finish him off. The counter engage takes out Garrosh before Ancestral can proc. Cassia is in trouble, getting absolutely wrecked by the robot. And this is the beginning of the end, I believe. The Haka does get caught by the Impale. Down he goes. 3 members down. Boy, as close as game 1 was, game 2, not so much. Minion Miners looking like they're going to take a 2-0 domination, pick up all 3 points here. After watching that first game, I thought there was no way this game wasn't going to 3 games, but Minion Miners just absolutely cranked it up to another level. And it seemed like LuBu just didn't have an answer for the draft that Minion Miners showed in that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. And the talents for those of you who are so inclined to check those out. Alright guys, well that will do it for me. That is a long night of casting back to back to back, but trying to make sure our teams get all the love that they can. We get as many games casted as we can here. So thanks for hanging out. That was a long night. Congratulations to all of our victors tonight. That would be 10 Armor, Almost Legends, and Minion Miners. Be sure to check out the calendar next week. I do have a cast coming tomorrow at 6:15 and another one Wednesday at 6. So be sure to hang out for those. Have a fantastic night, everybody, and we'll catch you tomorrow.